However exalted the presidency of India may be, it is not a post beyond question, is it? Is it, Mr. Doval? Pratibha Patil has to explain to us on which subjective considerations she sat on the Afzal Guru file. She must come out and explain.
I think definitely.
There must be a public disclosure.
Well, the President's office is exalted, but it doesn't mean that it's not answerable. But I think also partly the fault lies with their own ministry and the Delhi administration. Because they did not expedite the response in time, and after that the President kept on sitting over it. And, well, unofficially what was transpired was that deliberately it was asked that they may be pended in the Home Ministry so that it is delayed being sent to the President's office.
You are right there. 16 reminders were sent to the Congress-led Delhi government before it actually replied in the Afzal Guru case. 16 reminders went.
It's a slow dance.
It's a slow dance.
Slow dance which we all sit and watch.
It's a slow dance
with
which
all
we...
these dancers hand in hand. Somebody putting his foot forward one time, somebody putting the foot forward another.
Mr. Nikam is smiling at what you're saying there, but there is, you know, this is the reality in our country, Mr. Nikam. No, this is the reality.
Arnab,
this is what we have condemned ourselves to.
Arnab.
Yes, Mr. Nikam.
Arnab, let me tell you very frankly that unfortunately we don't have any uniform scale to decide as to on what basis the President can dispose of the mercy petition. No doubt Mr. Jethmalani has rightly said that once the then Home Minister has said that the President has to take into consideration the advice from the Council of the Minister. But of course that advice is not binding upon him. But now we have a latest example that the then Punjab Chief Minister, he was killed in a bomb blast, and ultimately the black warrant was issued against the assailant. But that black warrant stayed on the hesitation. Why it was stayed? This is something miraculous.
No, the President knows. I beg to differ, Mr. Nikam, with you. The President of India has legal advisors. In 1991, then President Venkatraman faced an embarrassing situation following an unexpected court order, and the Bombay High Court commuted the death sentence of a murder convict to life in jail following the failure of the President to take a decision. The judge then observed, Mr. Nikam,
I'm aware
that the mercy petition cannot be kept pending for an indefinite period of time. And it had said it must be disposed in a reasonable time. So unless the President wants delay, if a President of India wants a delay, he or she can sit on the file.
There is no uniform scale.
No, if the President wants a delay,
the President can dispose of mercy petition.
I am sorry. At the level of the office of the President, we don't need scales. There is a matter of propriety. Surely an application for commutation by a person guilty of rape and an application for mercy by somebody convicted of attacking Parliament.
No, so
there is a sense of proportion and a sense of propriety. Does the President of India need scales to tell him how to act? I mean, come on, for God's sake.
No, but why did Pratibha Patil not act?
We all
with due respect.
Why did Pratibha Patil not act?
Arbitrarily.
Can I come in?
Why did Pratibha Patil not act? Yes, NK call.
Well, Pratibha Patil is now gone. The test is, why can't the President now decide on Afzal Guru's application? The test now comes in. What's happened has happened. The question today is, there is a petition, let it be decided now. I think that's where the real test lies. We have a new President, why can't it now be decided expeditiously?
But you know, the President now only, once the Home Ministry has rejected a mercy petition, the President has no choice, but he's bound by that opinion, and he has to sign off. He has to sign the death warrant and carry out the execution.
Absolutely. So then all the more.
So I don't know what we're all waiting for.
Why should we wait? Absolutely.
And if there are strong reasons for the President not acting, he must disclose it with the people of this country. He must tell us why he's sitting on this file after the Home Minister has rejected the mercy petition.
I'm told 12 files were cleared by Pranab Mukherjee, Mr. Doval. And they are sitting on Mr. Shinde's desk. Yeah. Now Mr. Shinde will have to tell us.
I was told that they have.
You heard that as well, Mr. Doval.
And I think now they are being processed very expeditiously. And the President has been taking quite a real-time response to the situation as it is warranted. And I think whatever was done by the former president is totally unacceptable. And I think that even the government at that time, or the Home Ministry at that time, was in cahoots and was in connivance with them. And it was deliberately delayed because for reasons political and purely extrajudicial considerations.
But those considerations don't hold now. Mr. Navkiran Singh, do you see the change in the mood in this country today?
President will make it difficult.
No,
for
Mr.
them.
Navkiran Singh, you are a human rights lawyer from Chandigarh.
No.
Do you sense today a change in the mood of this country? The same standard political/human rights lobbies can no longer determine the course of justice insofar as cases like these are concerned, Mr. Navkiran Singh. Aren't you sensing that after today?
Well, that is one argument, but the other argument is even death penalties are given for political reasons. So you can't ignore those. Politics plays its role everywhere. People,
Come on.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Navkiran Singh? No, what do you mean by that, Mr. Navkiran Singh? What do you mean?
Tell me,
Let me
Are you
explain
casting aspersions on the
Then
courts?
let me explain it.
On the courts exercise.
I'll explain it. Kindly hold on.
They are giving the.
Now, if you see,
Okay, he wants to explain his point.
if you
Yes.
see,
No, but give me one example.
you see, if you see
That
the
we can
case
call
of
it a
Kishori
political
Lal,
hanging.
if you see a case of Kishori Lal who had killed several of Sikhs in Delhi in 1984, he was given death penalty 3 times, and the Supreme Court then set aside the death penalty and converted into life imprisonment, saying that this is not the rarest of rare
So it is
cases.
set aside.
Number
You
one.
tell me where a person
Number
has been
two
hanged.
judgment is when
there
just
are
a second.
plenty of
Now
cases.
you kindly give
There
me
are
my
plenty
time
of
to
cases where the people who deserve to be hanged,
kindly hear me.
who deserve to be hanged, where
That is the issue. You don't want to hear anyone and you want people to comment on it.
Political considerations.
If you have not been able to define what is the rarest of rare case, how can you give this right to a particular judge to decide on his own? People who killed Graham Staines, Dara Singh, his death penalty has been turned into life imprisonment, saying that he committed that act because he was his religious sentiments were hurt because people were being converted to Christians. Is that a right judgment?
You
what
are
are we
giving
looking
all
at? There is
arguments
politics
against your
everywhere.
conclusion.
So why
I am
can't there be
telling
politics in
you, give
stopping
one
the
example
execution of people?
where a man
I'm sorry,
was
that's a
hanged,
simplification.
but he was innocent.
Sir, Mr. Navkiran Singh, I
Nobody
want to
should be
question you.
hanged.
Mr.
I am
Navkiran
against
Singh,
hanging.
Mr.
That
Navkiran
is
Singh,
my
okay,
thing.
let's debate that. Let's open up that. Mr. Navkiran Singh, you raised the debate of rarest of rare. So let's go about it. What is not rare? Why do you say Afzal Guru is not rarest of rare?
You see,
no, one second. Rarest
saying
of rare.
is-
Let's put up Kehar Singh. Was Kehar Singh rarest of rare? Is Afzal Guru rarest of rare? Is Ajmal Kasab rarest of rare?
I am not here to define rarest of rare. I am saying
I can get you a legal
that
definition
even
of the same.
parameters of rarest or rare are being not applied in the right manner. So death penalty should be gone. It should not be there in the country.
I have
case.
definitions of the circumstances which define rarest of rare. Murder committed in brutal, grotesque, diabolical manner for a motive which evinces total depravity or meanness in a dominating position, enormous in proportion, where a victim is an
Kishori Lal-
innocent
so
child,
Kishori
helpless
Lal
woman,
case was not
old and
rarest
infirm
of rare?
person. All of this applies for rarest of rare. What is your argument, Mr. Navkiran Singh?
So Kishori Lal case
Arnab.
and Dara Singh case, they were not rarest of rare cases? Why the Supreme Court
Arnab.
turned down the death
Harish
penalty?
Salve's response. Harish
So please say
Salve.
there should be no death penalty.
Mr. Salve and
He
Mr.
has given
Jethmalani,
two
would you like to
examples.
respond here? Yeah.
He has given 2 examples
Yeah.
where the court did not award death penalty. Is it a case for strengthening death penalty or abolishing death penalty? I'm sorry, you can't attribute motives to Supreme
That is
Court.
what I'm
I
saying.
The
say
question
when
you
the-
ask
when
is
the-
political
when the
considerations.
methodology of
How do you say the Supreme Court acted under political considerations? I'm sorry. I think that's a very unfair commentary.
Mahesh Jethmalani, would you like to respond to Navkiran Singh in this case?
If the rarest of rare definition is not being applied to by the Supreme Court in a manner in which there should be no arbitrary decisions, why should we go in for death penalty?
Sir, why don't you look at cases where the rarest of rare example has been applied? Look at those cases in your own state. Look at
That's right.
the famous Machi Singh versus other state of Punjab 1983 case, landmark case of definition of rarest of rare. You picked up the wrong case to make a wrong point. Mahesh Jethmalani, your respondent of Kiran Singh, please.
Yes, I can.
Well, the Supreme Court has said what the rarest of rare cases. Yes, but the Supreme Court has given us a definition of what the rarest of rare cases is. They've said that it's a case where the accused shows extreme depravity. Now, that of course again is a vague, amorphous term. And what is the question? What one man's extreme depravity may not be another man's extreme. So there's an element of subjective, satisfaction in finding out which is a case of extreme depravity. But the answer to that vagueness is not to abolish the death penalty. It is to tighten up the guidelines and to lay it clearly as to where. Now, personally speaking, I'm of the clear opinion that on purely utilitarian grounds, as far as terrorist cases are concerned, they're the most fit cases. They're the most fit cases for the death penalty, for the simple reason that if you keep a terrorist in life sentence custody, there is always a chance of a rescue operation. India has witnessed that in the year 2000.
Yes.
So on purely utilitarian grounds, once you found that the terrorist has killed people,
absolutely,
you must eliminate him because you otherwise risk a rescue operation.
I think a strong argument is also building up for creating a code. Creating a code to deal with terrorists and cases of terrorism. Amin Solkar wanted to come in before I close this debate tonight. Mr. Solkar.
See, basically, I feel that if this, in the case of Kasab, because that is what, we would like to send a message across the border.
Yeah.
That, see, here is the case, you have sent someone to create a terror, and if that person, basically he has come here to become a martyr. So if he comes here, and then if he doesn't become a martyr, and subsequently, then by hanging him if he becomes a martyr, then we won't be sending it the correct message. The correct message would be, we would be showing the people across the border that the person whom you have sent here, now see how he's rotting inside, and that would in fact, we are fighting against terrorism, sorry. We are not fighting against terrorists.
Gentlemen, I'm wrapping this debate up for now. We have two other discussions coming up on the other side. One, the political debate. Is the BJP got an edge? Is the government on the defensive on the Afzal Guru case? And after that, the global export house of terror, Pakistan. We'll get a response from the other side of the border. Thank you, gentlemen, for debate number 1 tonight on the News Hour.